What's up, guys? It's Kim, and we're back for another Bujo adventure. Join me, won't you?
Nice to meet you, where you been?
Alright, so today's video, I am going to be showing you my last bullet journal. We're going to be doing a flip through the last 6 months of 2019, January through June. So it's going to be a little bit of a long video because I'm going to stop and talk about certain things, but for the most part, I'm just going to flip through and sort of let you enjoy the beauty of bujoing. So let's get right on into it. Here's the video. All right, so here is my very first bullet journal that I ever filled out to completion. And when I say I filled out, I really filled it out. It is thick and falling apart in the seams. So it definitely has seen its better days. It is a minimalism art journal. I wouldn't really recommend these. They're really good for beginners, though, I will say, because I got it for $8 on Poshmark, and that's a pretty good deal considering it's a pretty decent beginner journal. Now, right away, you're going to notice that it's literally falling apart. I have super glued this together multiple times, but it just is what it is. So on the left here, we just have a little quote about the new year and then the index, as always. Now, one of the things I always do is I write the number of dots that are on going to the right and the number of dots going down, and I refer back to that a lot. Now, somehow I accidentally inverted my key in my year to glance. I don't really know how that happened, but it happened. So not a big deal. One thing that I am changing this bullet journal is I did away with the squares because I just don't love the squares for my tasks. So now I am actually using circles for my tasks because I think it looks neater when you're looking back on it, and you'll see what I mean when we get to my weekly spreads. Future log, love this layout, definitely a good one, and I will probably revisit it later. Year in pixels, another one of my favorite spreads. I don't love my handwriting, of course, but my penmanship has only gotten better since doing this, and I feel like that's going to be the same for anybody that's bullet journaling. The more you do it, the better you're going to be at it with everything, with handwriting and everything. Now, I thought this started in January, but it didn't, and now I remember why. It's because I got a journal, and it wasn't a dot grid journal. It was a square grid journal, and I hated it so much. I tried to stick it out and use it, but they're just so distracting, and I ended up pitching it after 3 months, and so that's why this actually starts in March. And you're probably wondering how I filled up an entire journal from just March to June, but it's because I was doing dailies. Now, you'll notice that when I go back through this, there's a lot of notes that I left for myself because there was a lot of things that I wanted to change and improve and fix, and it's always just good to leave yourself little notes. So for instance, here I had so many different feelings that I was trying to track, and that's too much. And over here we got the time tracker. I wanted to try this out. It's a good idea in theory. How it works is at the very top there are all the hours of the day, and then on the left it is the days of the month, and everything's color coded. So pink is time with my kids and time with the husband, and purple is housework, yellow is running errands. So this is how I was able to sort of look back and see how I was spending my time. Blue is sleep, and then the green is my me time. Everyone's got to have their self-care. But when I looked back on this, I was actually pretty happy with how I was spending my time. I didn't feel like I was wasting my time. I was spending most of it either with my kids, doing my housework, running errands, just things that needed to be done. And this takes a lot of time to do because you have to track every second of the day. All right, so this is my first gratitude log, the highlight of my day, and my very first chore tracker. Absolutely hate that setup, but I don't know, you guys might remember that I said I have tried a lot of chore trackers. I was not kidding. Gotta try new things until you find out what you like, and this one is definitely not what I like, so that is why I do the same habit tracker every single month now, because I found something I like, so I stick with it. And then over here on the right is when did I last pay? It's sort of just like those spreads, like when did I last change my toothbrush? When did I last change my sheets? But when did I last pay? Just for my bills. We're going to skip on over this hideous page because I am not an artist, not even a little bit. So I can't draw at all. And I just decided not to do that anymore because I can't doodle. I just can't do it. All right, so back then, this is when I was doing dailies. Dailies are a waste of time, in my opinion. I at least don't have the time for them, not even a little bit, and they take up so much space in my bullet journal. Now, I didn't know what I was doing. You have to sort of try new things. And when I first started bullet journaling, I was like very keen on writing down literally everything I had to do for that day. So it was like, wake up, take a breath, put on shirt, put on pants. I mean, not to that extent, I'm being silly, but you know what I mean. I just wanted to just keep track of everything, and it was too much. I leave plenty of room on my weeklies that I don't need dailies. So now I just keep all my tasks on my weekly spread, and that is it. It's fun to play with all the different washies and stickers on your dailies, but that's about it. We'll skip right over this period tracker. It's pretty self-explanatory, and we don't need to get into all that. And here we have more dailies. Again, like I said, you can play with fun washi tape and stickers because you got plenty of room. You got plenty of room to write literally anything, but it's not worth it. This is like my first official weekly spread, I think. And my theme was cactuses and greenery and plants and just pretty much anything green for the month of March. And it's also my baby girl's birthday month. Happy birthday, Aubrey. And there her cute little naked butt is. I'm going to cover her up. And on the right is page ideas, which is something that I think is pretty important to have in your journal. It's good to look back on whenever you're feeling uninspired and you just want to do like a new collection or you want to think of a new spread. I would always refer back to that. Here's one exception where I actually do like the squares, because when you color them in a different color like this, every time I watched one of these Disney or Pixar movies, I colored it in a different color. And then it gives it this really cool rainbow effect, and it looks like a rainbow staircase, and I love that. More dailies we don't need to talk about. Now we have a bucket list for 32 things that I wanted to do before I turned 32. And I'm pretty proud of myself. I have already highlighted quite a few things. I wanted to take an art class. I wanted to bust out my rollerblades. A bunch of new things. And I've tried a lot of them so far. Gosh, my March playlist is so long. I remember there was so much good music in March. This is another cute weekly spread, but again, I'm super distracted by those boxes. I hate them. I like the cute little leaves, but other than that, I don't love those boxes. They drive me nuts to look at. Like, I definitely was trying to track a lot of things and write down a lot of things, but all I see is wasted space here. All right, this is like the first real official chore tracker that I ever did that I really was proud of. I found it on Pinterest and sort of just like adjusted it and made it my own, color coded it for the months and the days of the week. It's got my daily chores, weekly chores, and then I have 52 boxes for every single week of the year. And then you go in and color it in for each week as you do the weekly chores. Same with the monthly ones. You go down to the monthly chores. You'll see that I have those also color coded, and then I've got all the months, and you just color that in as it goes as well. Same thing for the bi-weekly chores, biannually and annually. It just got sort of hard to remember to keep track of all this, and that's why I haven't migrated this over. It's a lot to track, and it just got to be a little bit too much. This one I actually came up with on my own. This was my weekly chore log. Now, I actually came up with this one on my own because there was nothing out there on Pinterest that matched my needs. Like, because I do a room every single day. So Mondays is bedrooms, Tuesdays bathrooms, so on and so forth. So what I did was I looked at my calendar and I wrote down literally the number of every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday for the rest of the year. And I wrote down that number, and then I would go in each week, like each Monday, each Tuesday, each day, and I would color in something. And I kept this going for about good 2 months, but then it got to be just too much. And again, I stopped doing it. So that's why I just stick to my simple weekly chore log now on my weekly spread. I love this. One of my favorite spreads ever. I would color it in like a little bit more every day as I went in. So it's super, super fun to do. All right, this is my Instagram tracker and my ideas for Instagram pictures, posts I wanted to do. I don't really think that I needed to keep record of this ideas that I had for pictures, you know what I mean, for videos. Yeah, and I also stopped tracking my Instagram like that because sometimes it's like unhealthy to track
every single thing that you're doing. Another weekly spread I love, similar to the last one, just inverted it. And I really want to keep or start doing this again, this end of the month review, because it is really helpful to actually look back and see what you've learned from your bullet journal the past month. Like I wanted to keep track of one things I wanted to start, stop, and change. Like I wanted to stop doing the time tracker. I wanted to change my mood tracker, habit tracker, just things like that. And I kept track of my successes, challenges. You know, it's helpful to know at least what you're learning from your bullet journal. And I don't keep the Polaroid a month anymore because I have my year in Polaroids now, so I can just keep this to one page. So I think I'm gonna revisit that and start doing that again. This is like when I started my channel, guys, because I remember I did a little tutorial on these clouds as my very first video. Aw, how exciting. Memories. I picked a Taylor Swift quote, but I didn't pick it from a song. It's actually a speech that she did during her 1989 tour for the song Clean. And it says, I now believe that pain makes you stronger, and now I believe that walking through a lot of rainstorms gets you clean. I love that. Super fun theme. This was one of my favorites to do for sure. It was really when I started playing around with my tombos and just getting real creative. This habit tracker, oh, love the mood tracker and the habit tracker. This is when I found this habit tracker, and I use the same layout to this day. Find one you like, you stick with it. This is another spread that I feel like is just completely taken away from by those stupid squares. Like it just takes so much away from the page. Can't stand it. You'll recognize these pages because I migrated them over to my new one. I like to have a list of like movies that I've seen and want to see, because there's always a movie I want to see and then I'll forget about it. And if you'll notice, this is really filled out to completion like I said it was. That's why I made them 2-page spreads in my new bullet journal. This is the first sleep log that I tried like this, and I love the way it looks so much that I'm literally using the same exact one to this day. Oh, I wish that I hadn't colored this in. No, I'm sorry. I wish that I would have used Tombos instead of Crayola Super Tips, because you can see the streaks. And it looked really good before that, though, without them. But it's okay. Oh, man. So I'm going to blur out my passwords over here on the right, so don't mind me. But this is my April playlist. I really like that look of the floats, the floats, the clouds floating back there. It's super cute. And this was when Taylor Swift posted that ominous countdown to 426, and nobody knew what was going on, and all the Swifties were losing their friggin' mind. Oh, what a time to be a Swiftie. And then, of course, I picked another Swiftie quote about rain. The rain came pouring down when I was drowning. That's when I could finally breathe. I love that quote. This is the first time I ever did like a vertical spread, and I was like so pleasantly surprised with how much I liked it, because I thought I would hate it. So I'm definitely going to be doing that more. This is just a page of theme ideas. I would always pick like the colors first and then the theme. I know, weird, I know. May, and this was when I first did my very first Plan With Me video for the entire month, was May. So this is, now we're getting into stuff that you guys have probably already seen. Really bummed that I accidentally skipped through that mood tracker there, because that was one of my favorite ones ever. It was the butterfly, and it was filled out all the way to completion, and anyways, I'm just gonna move on. I really like how like you'll notice that I get better and better for each spread. Like my ideas get better, and just like my drawing gets better. And I think that's gonna be true for anyone that tries this, to be honest. Kind of goes for anything you try. And the more you do something, the better you're going to be at it. So I also migrated this over. This is my YouTube growth tracker and video planner and my schedule. Keep a schedule of, every day or every Tuesday when I'm going to post, and the title. Oh, my summer 2019 bucket list. I really need to move this one over. But I'll probably just keep it to one page, because that's ridiculous. That was way too many. Love that spread. I'm just going to ignore these 2 pages. Oh, I love that picture of my kids, my babies. And now I think we're going to be getting into my favorite month of all. Yay, June. this is when I like really started exploring with watercolors, like really. And it took up, it makes you have to like glue all the pages together when you're using this minimalism art bullet journal. But that month at a glance, by the way, is my favorite I've ever done. Love the colors of this month. Just the whole vibe is just awesome. I love the super black palm trees on the watercolor background. I love it. I definitely want to revisit that little spread again. I like that setup I had going on there. Oh, this was fun. I always love when I actually think of a spread of my own and don't copy it from someone from Pinterest. Gotta love that. Yeah, see how all the pages are glued together and super thick? That was another reason why I think this kind of went to hell so fast, because once you start watercoloring, especially with this minimalism art bullet journal, it just was not made for that. My Scribbles That Matter holds it so much better, and the Archer and Olive I hear is even better, so I'm going to be trying that one next time, since I'm having way too much fun with my watercolors, in case you can't tell. Here's my little Bujo migration plan that I had. You guys might remember that from a video. I actually didn't have a plan with me for this spread because I was just so over the journal at this point, but I really like the way it came out. Pretty. And that's it for my journal. There's only like 3 pages left and then a swatch page, so pretty much used it all. Me and this bad boy have been through a lot.
Thank you for sticking through all of that. Anybody that made it through the past 15 minutes of that video, I appreciate you as always. Thank you so much. And please consider subscribing to my channel. It would mean the absolute world to me. And you can also follow me on Instagram at imperfectly_perfect_planner. I post new Bujo videos every Tuesday for the most part. I'm usually pretty good about it. I actually posted mine early this week. It's already up. It was posted on Sunday. So this is just a little extra bonus video for the week, but I will be back on Tuesday with our regularly scheduled plan with me. So I will see you guys then. Toodles.